Insights with Terri Ep.248, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.248. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.248. Thanks for joining me to explore together the week of December the 21st through December the 28th, 2025. Only a few more days left in 2025 and it'll be history. Hard to believe. So the sun sign is still in Sagittarius, which is very spiritually oriented and very cognizant of learning and becoming the best that we can be and trying as hard as we can to be the best that we can be. Morality, truth, justice. That's going to turn into Capricorn on the 22nd, which we have to be careful because that's being hard on ourselves. Naturally, that energy field brings to our attention what we shoulda, coulda, woulda done, and maybe, kicking our own butt, we shoulda, woulda, coulda. But we want to guard against that and just look at how do I make a plan using the Capricorn energy. Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, is in Sagittarius, as is Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, is in Sagittarius. Now that's going to turn to Capricorn on the 25th. What we have to be careful of when it's changing from Sagittarius to Capricorn like that, it's an independent energy field. So our loved ones may all of a sudden feel like they're looking for space from us, or maybe we feel that we're a little bit removed or distant from them. And that's not the point of it. It's more about cultivating independence in ourselves. And if we are inspiring other people, how they can as well achieve independent spirituality, morality, honesty. This is a big energy field for honesty and truth. And then Mars, the planet of our passion and our drive, that's in Capricorn. Again, that's going to cultivate the energy field that allows us to look at our lives with a plan. I need a plan kind of thing. And we have to be careful with that, of not getting so involved in a plan or making a plan that we miss all the subtle miracles and amazing things that are around us minute to minute to minute. Now, the middle of the week, what we have to be careful of is with the transitions that we're making, we can get a little clumsy. So we're a little bit more predisposed to maybe to have a slip and fall or a turn of the ankle. We may have trouble with shins, Achilles heel. So that's a very vulnerable energy field. So just be really careful where you put your feet. And make sure that if you have somebody around you that isn't as firm as they should be, really be careful of how can I help them be safe. It's just that kind of an energy field. This is where slip and falls, wrists get broken, legs get fractured, arms, pelvises. So just be really, really careful. On the spiritual side, on Christmas Day, the moon changes to Pisces, and that is a very spiritual energy field. Well, let me change that. I'm not going to say spiritual as much as psychic, because we can be psychic and not necessarily be spiritual. So it isn't a given. So that psychic energy can make us more of a sponge, and then you take us being crowded, but maybe by family, friends, things that we have to do, stores that we have to go into where there's a lot of people. We just may find ourselves feeling a little lightheaded or airheaded, maybe feeling other people's issues and then having to identify, is this mine or is this theirs? So just be conscious of if you're feeling an emotion that isn't normally yours, like anger or frustration, and that's not normally where you are, look around and see if there's somebody else that's feeling that and you're catching it just like a cold. So just be aware of that. It might not be yours. It could be somebody else's. And then how can I help? So last week as well, we talked about joy and we talked about change and how it was so important to recognize what we have right now, this moment in front of us. And we talked about the impermanence of things, how we think, like right now I have 15 dogs, I have 7 parrots, I've got my turkeys, my chickens, my ducks. And we think this is going to go on forever. I'm going to have chores until forever. But, you know, one slip and fall could change everything. Everything is changeable, and we have to look at just enjoying it for this moment in time. And we have to consciously put ourselves in the place with this Sagittarius energy that we have of, how do I love deeply? How do I say it to the people that I love? And say it now, because we don't know what the next moment is going to bring. We can't necessarily count on, one phone call away from who knows what. So feel it now. Notice it now. We're in the energy field right now with the spirituality of the moment of now. So many moments I've noticed with people are lost because they're not noticing. They're preoccupied and they don't see. I've taken many people for walks in my bush, and as they're talking and laying their problems out in front of them, they've missed the sound of the frogs that just started up. They missed the sound of the crickets. They missed the hawk flying over, or the buzzards that are there. They missed the smell of the wind, or the lack of the wind in the trees in January, when it's all of a sudden beautiful and warm, and we're in the middle of winter and it was very windy getting there, but all of a sudden you're in the bush and it's still. And they miss all of those moments because they're so preoccupied with their problems, or just preoccupied. And so we don't see when that happens. So usually what I do is I'll give somebody 10 minutes. Okay, you have 10 minutes to unload. And you can say anything, just keep going, don't worry about me. And then after that, we're going to be in the moment. So with us not noticing, and that beautiful miracle that maybe just went by, like the sound of the beautiful frogs. I even had a woman say she hated the sound of frogs. I couldn't believe it. Wow, how can you hate the sound of frogs? I guess we all have our things. But miracles go without our attention. So many dragonflies, so many butterflies. Butterflies at the odd time of the season. I saw one about a month ago. Shouldn't have been. I wished him well. It was kind of late. But I would have missed that beautiful moment had I been preoccupied with something else. So there isn't peace in a busy mind. There isn't peace in multitasking and not paying attention. And joy lives in gratitude. The more we are grateful, that doesn't mean we have to be stupid about it, but the more we put our attention on what we have, the gratitude of it, of recognizing everything that we have, not living in what we don't have, honestly, trust me on this, kids, the happier you're going to be. And the more good things happen. That's true because we're more aware of it. And so many people that come, I recognize they're on a mission of, how do I find joy and happiness? I'll be happy when I retire. I'll be happy when I'm older. I'll be happy when I can buy a house. And missing all the little pieces to the puzzle that are now. Sometimes joy is just simply breathing. If you've ever had the wind knocked out of you, I was talking to a friend the other day, actually Kyle Horner, and they were talking about hockey and how horrible it feels to have the wind knocked out of you. And it is. I've had it happen. I've fallen off horses many times and had the wind knocked out of me, or just taken a big hit by a cow or a horse and had the wind knocked out of you. And really and truly, breathing becomes so important. So there are exercises in breathing, and you don't have to get fancy about it, but it does something to the human body. This practice of being attentive to our breathing each day, maybe before you sleep, and think of 3 simple things that you appreciated that day that happened, or just that you appreciated. They don't have to be big things. They can be small ones, like the taste of something delicious. I mean, food is amazing. A conversation that really felt genuine. The sunlight through the window. I got up yesterday morning and the sun was very different. It was different color. I'm used to what it looks like. And the birds wake me up by their singing in the morning. My parrots think it's singing. I think it's screaming, but they think they're singing. But the sun was very different that morning. It was orange and red, and it flooded the whole house with this warm glow through my window. And the birds were basking in that heat. And it was just magnificent. I don't think I'll ever forget that picture. And when we do this, breathing, being conscious of breathing, being conscious of things around us, it trains our mind to see life as a gift, not a burden. So many people say, I'm so ready to die. Or I just wish I wasn't here. Or life is horrible. It's just horrible. I've never felt that the way they do. I guess animals always have brought me back to the now, the moment, the joy of just being attached to a slobbery ball. Animals do such good things for our souls. So gratitude helps us release things. They help us release bad attitudes, helps us release worry. It helps us release fear and comparison. And it might help us release the fact that we're measuring and stop measuring our life against other people. Well, the neighbors have this car. They're driving an Audi. They're driving I have a little putt-putt. And I'm just so grateful when it starts. So grateful. And I'm so grateful when it drives me home. So grateful that we stop thinking about all the things that we don't have. And at my age, sometimes people, as we mature, we start thinking about we should have done more, we should have been more, we should have accomplished more. So instead, just begin to think at my age, and I don't care if you're 30, 20, 15, 70, I'm grateful for what I've learned. Look at how far we've come when you compare yourself. Our life is not defined by what we did or what we didn't accomplish. I have helped so many people cross over. And they crossed over not with their bank accounts and not with those amazing things that they have at home. So many people I know go into the hospital and they never go back home. And so everything that they left in that moment that was so important to them is now gone. Maybe moved out by the kids, given away. And they're in a little room. And all they have is what they're wearing. And when we leave with nothing. We came with nothing and we leave with nothing. So we are not defined by what we did or what we didn't accomplish or what we accumulated. We're defined by what we've learned and how we pass that on to other people. Our life is defined by how deeply we lived and the gratitude that leads to another truth, which is purpose. What's our purpose? Now, many people have come to me and said, what's my soul's purpose? I want to know. Well, we have to find that. I know what it is for some people that come, but I can't tell them. Because when I tell them, they've lost the sense of finding it themselves. And when you lose the sense of finding it yourself, working hard to find it, then you also lose the attachment to it and would be more willing to let your soul's purpose go. It's really interesting. I had a moment of going back in time for myself, and I realized how deeply I did live. I rode horses. I broke horses. I worked with cows. I worked with bulls. I worked with animals that I never should have been near. I had so many amazing experiences. I was sitting there feeling what a wonderful life I had. I remembered my saddle and how it smelled so good and how it sounded, the creak of that saddle when I'd ride, and the endurance racing that we do 100 miles and try to get it done in maybe 13 hours and not kill our horse, right? So all of that, I was so fortunate to live the life that I did. And now in older age, I realize it's not about output. Many of us get stuck in that. I've gone to the nursing homes and seen people that had very high careers that were very important people. But now they can't even find their own room. They have to have a key attached to them because they can't even find their own room or get into their own room. And as we age, we learn. We don't have to prove anything. We don't need to catch up. We don't need to compete. We simply need to be here, to be aware and appreciative. So we can still be contributing just by showing up with kindness, with patience, and wisdom and compassion. We're still observing the world through every gentle word that we offer, or every thoughtful gesture that we offer, or every moment that we listen to somebody that's in pain. A grateful heart doesn't really need more time. They've experienced everything so acutely. We simply learn to use that time that's left to us beautifully by not chasing what we want, by noticing what we have. And that's the essence of joy. And that's what I'm going to leave you with, kids, over this Christmas and New Year's holiday. I want to leave you with that thought, to so enjoy that moment, the family, the sparkle, the colors of the lights, the smell in the air. Just enjoy it. Because this is a Christmas you'll never get back again. This is the Christmas of 2025. This is a family that might not be there next year with you. You may have an empty table and an empty plate. We don't know. And we have to go at this 100 miles an hour with our hair on fire in gratitude. So thank you so much, everybody, for sharing with me your time. That's the biggest gift that anybody can give another person. And you can find us on all the platforms Charlie O'Brien has kindly put us on. I don't have to mention it again. I've mentioned it 1,000 times. YouTube, SoundCloud, etc. And I'd like to thank Charlie O'Brien for putting us on that platform. And do yourself a favor, folks. Tune in to his streaming Big 8, the number 8 radio.com, and take advantage of listening to all those older musics, the music that makes you so happy and so glad. The 60s, the 50s, the 70s. It was a wonderful time, and it brings you back in time. Even if you weren't during that time, it'll offer some joy, some fun. So just listen to that radio show. And if you need something that I can offer you, and I'd be pleased to do that, you can text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thanks again, everybody, so much for your time. Have a wonderful Christmas. All the best in the new year to everybody. Be happy. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.